right, well, thank you all for joining today's session to learn about academic culture in the United States with the Office of Global Services and the Global Learner Support Team here at Northeastern University. A few housekeeping rules. We will answer questions in the chat, so we won't answer any live questions, so we won't, we'll see your hands raised, but we won't be able to answer those directly. But if you post them in the chat, we will. And just a reminder, we can't answer any compliance information today. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. First with introductions. Yeah, do you want to go ahead and get started?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Ye. I am a program manager with the Office of Global Services. I'm based on the Boston campus. I work closely with Audrey. We support our international students through programming, and very excited to have all of you here today.
Thanks, yeah. As you mentioned, my name is Audrey Strong. I'm one of the two program managers in the Office of Global Services on the Student Support and Programming team. And I'm also looking forward to sharing some helpful information for you today. And I'll pass it over to Joe.
Hi, everyone. My name's Joseph Clark. I'm the Assistant Director of a student services team called Global Learner Support. I use he, him pronouns. You can call me Joe. I'm based at the Vancouver campus. And yeah, looking forward to providing you with a little overview of Global Learner Support services.
So this is the agenda for today. We'll do an overview of academic culture in the United States, covering expectations in the classroom, a TA versus a professor, email etiquette, an overview of Canvas, which is the learner management system that you'll be utilizing to communicate with professors and submitting assignments, a little bit about plagiarism, academic integrity, other resources and program, and then we'll turn it over to Joe to talk about Global Learner Support and their services, including workshops, cultural activities, courses, Global Village tutoring, and then at the end, we'll leave time for questions and we'll provide you answers directly in the questions chat, and then we'll be posting links throughout the presentation in the chat function on GoToWebinar. So all right, the first topic that we're going to talk about is the Office of Global Services, and we are the International Students and Scholars Office here at Northeastern University. We help international students and scholars maintain their F1 student visa and J1 scholar visa, as well as maintaining employment authorization. So if you're somebody looking to work while studying, we'll help sign those documents. In addition, we'll provide you with support through cultural programming, the Global Student Mentor Program, as well as events and various activities as well. Please note, if you have questions through this presentation, we will not be able to answer them live on camera, but we will answer them in the chat at the end of the presentation. A lot of your questions will be answered as we go through the presentation today. So we also want to reiterate that we will not give any updates on your immigration status, as well as on any of the e-forms that you may have submitted. And please note that e-form processing may take up to 15 days to process. So please be patient as we are working through them as quickly as we can. And if you want to get in touch with the Office of Global Services, we have a number of different ways that you can do that. The main way would be through the OGS inquiry form. So you can submit any of your immigration related questions and requests through the inquiry form on our service portal. and that is the best way to contact us. And then we'll respond through that as well. And that is really helpful for you so you can see the status of your question and when someone responds. In addition, students and scholars can also ask OGS questions or schedule an appointment by phone Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then, as we mentioned, you can submit any questions or any immigration documentation through OGSE forms. And then, in addition, one more thing is if you're at one of the Global Campus Network locations, you can find all of the information on the local OGS on our website. So in terms of that, we'll post that link to our website contact information in the chat so you can contact us as well. But same applies to all campuses in the US at Northeastern. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about expectations in the classroom. It is really important to show up on time and be present. So whether you are in person or virtual, or you're showing up for a group meeting for one of your classes, it's expected that you arrive early. Try and arrive at least 5 minutes early to avoid any important announcements that are being made in the class and any content. It's also expected that you read the syllabus before the start of the semester and the class so that you understand the expectations of what the professor is providing you in terms of the content throughout the semester. And the deadlines are often strict, so it's really important to submit all deadlines on time, accurately, as well as in your own words. And with that, yeah, it's just really important to submit everything on time, respond if the professors ask any follow-up questions to you in an email as well. In addition, it's a cultural norm in the United States to ask questions throughout the duration of your time here. It is looked at as showing that you're interested in the topic and that you have done your homework. So show up to class with completing all the assignments that were asked of you, whether it's reading, it's a short answer on Canvas discussion post, as well as, yeah, just being present and showing up is really important. In terms of engagement, when a professor asks if anyone in the classroom has questions, you will be expected to raise your hand unless it's a popcorn style and they're just asking everyone to share out. And with that, raising your hand shows politeness, and you would just want to wait until you are called on. And then with that, be prepared in case professors decide that they want to call on anybody in the classroom. So make sure that you are not on your phones and not doing other side work, because it's important to be able to respond anytime. And then with that, if you have any trouble in understanding the question, it is acceptable in the US to ask the professor to repeat themselves or slow down and rephrase the question. And that is really okay because that shows that you are listening, you want to engage with the discussion, but you want additional clarification. So don't worry if you need to ask somebody to repeat themselves, it's fine. Furthermore, it's important to understand that you are not right off the bat allowed to record any lectures. You have to ask permission to record because not all professors want their classes recorded because they don't know where it's going. So best practice is to just ask permission first. If you are silent and don't participate at all in the discussion during the class, or the semester, it may be seen as a lack of interest or lack of preparedness in the class discussion. And so it's really important to actively participate and engage in all of the different conversations that are going on. However, you will want to be mindful of taking turns and letting others speak as well. Furthermore, it's expected that you take initiative and be responsible for your education. So come to class prepared, do your homework, read the assignments, take notes. Don't just use AI to, give you a summary, because that might not be accurate. You want to ask the professor if you can use AI to do any of your course assignments, because they might have different views on that. You really want to think of your professor as a guide and seek them for questions about your course content. And then with that, you can advocate for yourself. If you have questions about how to complete an assignment, or maybe you need an extension on assignment, always ask before the deadline to show that you are planning ahead. And that way the professor can decide one way or another if they grant that extension or not. And then with that, professors also have office hours that are available, or you can schedule an appointment. So that's a great way to connect with the professor after the class if you need additional support. And if there's any room for activities or projects, definitely sign up for those and do everything that you can to further your education while studying. And then with that, I will pass it over to Ye to talk about professors versus teaching assistants.
Thank you very much, Audrey. So we'll continue with more information here. While you're here in the US, most likely these are the two roles that you'll be interacting with, these professor and the teaching assistant, TA. So the professor is usually someone with a terminal degree in their own fields, or someone who has extensive experience in the industry. So of course, they are the subject matter experts who designs the classes and teaches the content and conducts research. Of course, the TA is, as you can tell by the name, they're in an assistive role. It could be a graduate student, sometimes even a undergrad junior, senior. They would help the professors with grading or answering questions. So they might be the right person for you to clarify any confusions about assignments. But you should understand the professor is the person who has the final say over how the class is conducted and gradings, etc. And next. We'd like to also mention a little bit about the email etiquette. So how frequently email is used might differ a lot from country to country, culture to culture. But here, email is oftentimes used to communicate with your professors, classmates, teammates, and TAs. So we would like to suggest that you always start your email with very clear and concise subject line. You would like to start with a nice greeting. It's very important to mention who you are with your full name and your NUID, so that the professor would know who you are. It's very important to notice that they don't just teach one class, even just for one course, they might teach multiple sections. So it's very important for them to know who is writing to them, right? And also there should be a statement of problem or request. What are you asking from them? What help do you need? And oftentimes professors would appreciate a can-do attitude. If there is an issue going on, what is your proposed solutions, or what are some of the options that would be viable to you because you couldn't do something? For example, Audrey mentioned earlier that if you needed an extension, would you like to clarify what actually happened that would justify the extension needed, and what is your proposed new due date or like deadline for you to get that assignment submitted. And often always end with a salutation. Timing is important. Maybe if you send an email at 10 p.m., you might not get an answer right away. So make sure if you have any issues, plan ahead, email the professors and TAs early rather than late. Also, like if you cannot make it to a group project, right? It's important for you to communicate with your team members early as well. So as we often say, communication is key. And also, yeah, professors might not reply to you right away, but it's expected they get back to you within 48 hours in most cases. And next. We already mentioned it earlier. Audrey mentioned it. So this is a screenshot of the platform called Canvas. That's where all your course-related content will live. As you can see here, the dashboard. It has all the courses here. Like some are pre-existing. For example, like every student will have this academic integrity review course, and then all the other courses will be classes that you sign up for. So take a quick look at the left-hand side menu so you're familiar where you can read messages and check your calendar. And if you click on the courses, you'll see everything in there. So let's move on to the next slide. Oops. Right. So for one specific course, here is another example. As you can see here, syllabus is really important. Make sure that's the first thing you check here. Download your syllabus, check it often. You will not only see the schedule of the semester list there, you would also see specific policies related to that specific course. And also you'll able to see the breakdown of all the assignments, right? The percentage of each assignment, how that contributes to your final grade. And also here, as you can see, there is a red button, grades, and the number is 1. It means you have one assignment that has been recently graded that you haven't checked. Please make sure you always check your Canvas regularly and make sure you don't just check the grade, but also the written feedback your professors give you, which are the most valuable part of your work, receiving feedback. And on the right-hand side, this column is also important. You'll see the to-do list. While you're only seeing the content of this one specific course on this screen, you'll be able to see all the upcoming to-dos here on the right-hand side. So what is the next due for you in the upcoming weeks? That's a good place for you to check. And next, we'd also like to talk a little bit about academic integrity. So academic integrity is plain and simple. It means being honest with in your schoolwork, everything you do, right? So as you see here listed, cheating, fabrication, unauthorized collaboration, and other type of dishonest behaviors are all seen as violations of academic integrity. So it's very important that you do your own work and understand the rules for using the sources and working with others. So on the next slide, we'll have a little bit more guidance for you. Yeah, so a major part of maintaining your academic integrity is to avoid plagiarism. So plagiarism is using others' words, ideas, or from any sources, okay, without proper citation or acknowledgement, okay? So if you're unsure how to cite correctly, there are helpful resources, fortunately. So one of them is Purdue OWL. It's Purdue University's online writing lab, which we found really comprehensive. We'll share the link in the chat momentarily. So there you could actually find writing guidelines and detailed explanations of citation styles, including APA and MLA. Next, as you see, Turnitin. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of it. So if you actually did your undergrad in the US and also used Canvas, you might be familiar. So Turnitin, it's a plagiarism checking tool, or we call it a similarity checker on Canvas. It's embedded in the system. So it allows you to check the originality of your work by generating a similarity report after you submit your assignment. So the report shows how closely your writing matches the sources in the database, which includes a lot of all the published works, publications, journals, scientific journals. So some professors would turn it in on, especially for midterms, high stakes assignments, midterms, finals. Some of them might allow you to submit drafts to the Turnitin system. And also previously we saw the course on everybody's dashboard, which is the academic integrity review course. So there you could actually do it yourself. Okay, you could submit your work in advance just to make sure that if there is anything that's flagged, if you need to re-paraphrase something, if you need to add a citation. So that's a good place for you to see the similarity reports. You could work on the things that Turnitin flags for you. So this helps you identify potential plagiarism or violations early on, so you can make adjustments, you can learn how to cite properly, and work on your papers before the final submission. And again, on our campus, Global Campus Network campuses, you'll be able to find services. Later, Joe will introduce to you more about what their office provides. And also, one more thing, AI, that's something new for us, but not quite new at this point, to be honest. Policies around AI could really differ from professor to professor, from class to class. So some instructors would explicitly mention that they allowed students to use AI for certain things, for example, brainstorming ideas, but others would entirely prohibit it. So it's very important for you to check with your professors, check the syllabus. Usually there is a statement. And we also found that now instructors might ask students to self-disclose, like, how much AI did you use? Did you use it? What AI tool did you use and for what purpose? So these are mostly always listed on the syllabus. So please check your course syllabus and ask your professor if you're unsure what is allowed. So yeah, if you're still not as confident, especially if you're coming to the US for the first time in this new academic and cultural environment, we encourage you to utilize the resources and tutoring services available provided by ITC, International Tutoring Center, and Global Learner Support, which Joe will introduce further later on. And Title IX and discrimination, right? That's also something we'd like to talk about in this presentation. So Northeastern treats Title IX and anti-discrimination policies very seriously. So it is illegal to discriminate against anyone based on the protected categories listed here, including race, ethnicity, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, ability, etc. So faculty and staff are strictly prohibited from making any sexual advances towards students, and discrimination or harassment of any kind is not acceptable at Northeastern. With that said, if you ever feel that you have experienced a Title IX violation or discrimination, please contact the Title IX office at the email address shown on this slide. And there are also other confidential support resources available to help you. And next, one of our signature programs that we always highly recommend to our new incoming students, new incoming graduate students, on the Boston and Silicon Valley campuses is this Global Student Mentor Program to help ease your transition to your life here in a new culture and institution. So if you become a mentee, we will pair you with a mentor, as you can see on this slide. So there are many benefits of joining as a mentee. So each mentee will be paired with a current Northeastern student who supports your transition to your graduate school in the US, and they'll help you adjust to your life here. So your mentor can also share a lot of the tips and tricks about academic life, campus life, how you can get more engaged and involved, and also other ways to connect with new people. And we also host a lot of community building events and activities. There is also an asynchronous course, which you could take at your own pace. So there are on and off campus resources listed there, but there are also skill building modules with practical guidance to help strengthen your academic, professional, and personal success as a graduate student. So as I mentioned, at this moment, we only have this program available to students on the Boston and Silicon Valley campuses. So eligible students will be receiving an email from us, from our office in the next few weeks regarding how to register if you're interested. We really highly encourage you to do so. And next. I'll hand it over back to Audrey to talk a little bit more about the orientation course.
Thanks, yeah. Next, we wanted to talk a little bit about the mandatory International Student Orientation course. So International Student Orientation is designed to ease your transition to a new city and to help you navigate your life as a student at Northeastern. It is an interactive module on the home-based platform, and it's asynchronous, which means you can complete it at your own time, and you will be automatically added to the course before the first day of classes. And with that, you must complete orientation through the Office of Global Services on the home base platform within 30 days of your program start date. If you do not complete the orientation within 30 days of your program start date, you will receive a hold on your student account, which would then prevent you from registering for classes for next semester or having any e-form processed by OGS. This is a really important piece of our presentation that we wanted to highlight because you need to complete orientation. It has extensive information about your immigration status and how to maintain it through the program that you are in, as well as information about different resources at Northeastern, how to avoid scams, as well as how to get involved. So please keep an eye out for an email that will be sent to your Northeastern email address in the coming weeks. And if you have any questions, you can submit an inquiry. And one other note is that when you submit the form to start the orientation, it is submitting the form. You then have to go onto the home base platform and you will receive all of the information on that platform. Submitting the form doesn't mean that you completed orientation. It means that you started it. So I just wanted to highlight that as well. And that is all from us, other than we have additional pre-arrival webinars coming up this week that we would love you to attend. So we are having a webinar tomorrow on living off campus as an international student. So if you want to learn about housing opportunities, how to find a roommate, how to avoid rental scams, and this is available to students on the Boston campus as well as at our US Global Campus Network locations, we would love to have you. Furthermore, on Friday, August 7th at 9 a.m., we will be having a pre-arrival webinar with the University Health and Counseling Services to talk about navigating health and wellness at Northeastern and in the United States. And they will be joined by the University Health Plans Office, which is NUSHIP, who will talk about health plan opportunities for students in terms of your health and wellness at Northeastern. And then since we are talking a lot about the U.S. Global Campus Network campuses, we'll have some um, folks from the Global Campus Network discussing health and wellness, as they are wellness specialists and they can support you while you're studying at any of our campuses in the US. So we hope to see you at additional webinars, and we posted this in the chat, and then I'll go ahead and turn it over to Joe to talk about global learner support, and also just follow us on social media. And we talked about contacting OGS as well, but here it is again.
Great, thank you. And it looks like I'm sharing my camera okay, I think. So I will jump in. As mentioned before, I'm Joseph Clark. You can call me Joe, and I'll be providing you with a brief overview of Global Learner Support's services today. Okay. So here you can see Global Learner Support's mission and services. So our mission is to provide you with high quality language, cultural, and academic support while promoting the development of intercultural competence and global understanding. And one of the ways we do this is by providing services both in person and online across Northeastern's global campus network. And currently, our services include tutoring, workshops, cultural activities, courses, Global Village, and global topics for global learners. So over the next few slides, I'll just be going over these services. Okay. Oh, yeah. And just before we go through the services, just a quick note that GLS has team members throughout our campus network, and we offer in-person or online services at these campus locations on this slide. Next slide, please. So we will start with talking about our workshops. Our workshops, we have specialists throughout our campus network, and our specialists offer at least one workshop per month. These can be in person or online, but they provide you with opportunities to explore topics related to culture, language, and academia in an engaging and interactive way. They can help you improve your language and communication skills while raising awareness about important social and cultural topics. And they are facilitated by GLS staff and other Northeastern University community members. So it could also be other staff, faculty, or students. So if you are settled in and you have any stories or experiences or expertise that you would like to share through a workshop, we can also work with you to set that up, and we would be really happy to do that. Some examples of our past workshops that ongoing, we still offer these. So starting your new journey. So that's once you arrive at your campus, we'll offer a workshop called Starting Your New Journey at that campus location, and it'll kind of provide you with lots of useful information about settling into life there. Writing professional emails. I think it was who was talking about kind of email etiquette. So we have workshops about that, and we just ran writing professional emails like last week. So it happens pretty often. And networking 101 for global learners, values-based living, designing an engaging academic presentation are all common workshop topics. We also do like academic culture in North America. I think Audrey was talking about classroom kind of participation etiquette. I think those things can also take some adjustment, and we have workshops about those things as well. And I will just pop a link to our workshop page into the chat. Right now, you will not see many workshops there. August is quiet for us, but for September, you will see lots of new workshops in the schedule there. And next slide, please. Thank you. One of our most popular services are our cultural activities. We, again, at least once a month, take students often off campus. So they can be off campus or on campus. And it's really just a chance to engage with local culture, getting off campus to places like museums or historical neighborhoods, taking part in volunteer opportunities or outdoor activities. It can really be all kinds of events, but often we're just engaging with local culture, exchanging culture, and it's really to, yeah, engage with the community, learn about the local history, and just connecting with other people, making social connections. But we do try to always have like an educational component, like a pre-activity workshop or discussion. But for the most part, these are kind of our fun social events that can happen off campus or on campus. For me, I'm in Vancouver. I can see a few pictures of Vancouver events. At the bottom there, there's the rainy one with the umbrellas. So Vancouver, we do get some rain. That was one of the events I did. It was a Japanese cultural festival, that one actually, and a lot of fun, even though it was raining that day. Okay, next slide, please. Next, I will talk about our courses. So our courses are free and non-credit, and they're offered in the spring, fall, and summer semesters. They're generally 5-week courses. Again, they're non-credit, so they're just for extra education, extra support. These examples here come with digital badges. So the courses we've offered lately include Speaking for Success, Academic Communication and Collaboration, Building Interview Communication Skills, and Introduction to Professional Communication. These courses are really quite student-led often. We try to give students a chance to, kind of decide what direction the courses go into. For example, like the second course there, Academic Communication and Collaboration, students will actually lead one of the classes each for those. So we try to incorporate as many chances for students to practice kind of like facilitation, leadership skills through our courses. And okay, I did put the link to that in the chat. So yes, next slide, Global Village. So Global Village is a newer initiative. It started in Toronto, and now we're just trying to build it at different campuses. It's not at all the campuses yet. So it happens in Toronto, Seattle, Vancouver, and Portland currently, and we're trying to bring it to other campuses. But it's essentially like a monthly kind of it's a party or a celebration of cultural diversity. We will choose a theme that's somehow related to the month that the event is taking place in. So for example, like in October, we'll do like Halloween or supernatural traditions around the world or things like that. And we just get together. We'll have students doing some presentations, sharing kind of how that aspect of culture looks like in their country or their hometown. Then we'll play some fun games, have some fun activities, eat some food. So yes, it's like a celebration of cultural diversity with an educational component. So it's an opportunity for students to share stories, cultural traditions, and talents in a safe and inclusive space. And some of the goals of the program include promoting development of intercultural competence and global understanding, as that's a goal of our whole team. Engage in meaningful conversation and productive dialogue, network and expand social circles. And it's a program that was really built by our student ambassadors, and they've said that it's by students for students, and it's just really about making connections and sharing stories. Again, I don't think we have any on our website, any events coming up on our website right now, but I'm popping the link into the chat. And for September, October, you will see some Global Village events on that webpage. Okay, and I will go on to the next slide, please. And tutoring, so this is actually the service that maybe I should have put this slide as the first service to talk about, because this is the one that I would really strongly recommend for a lot of different things, because through tutoring, you're able to meet one-to-one with one of our tutors who are all master's level educated English language tutors with just years and years of experience. So we have an excellent team of tutors who you can meet with online or in person. And you can really bring anything related to English conversation, pronunciation, academic presentation, professional writing, academic writing, or test prep, academic integrity, APA citation. So a lot of the things that we talked about in this session, email etiquette, classroom engagement, academic integrity, citation rules, those are all things that you can bring to our tutoring service. And sorry, if we can still keep on the same slide, thank you. Those are all things that you can bring to our tutoring service. And as long as it's related to communication or culture, you can bring it to our tutors and get one-to-one support on those things. So our most common tutoring focus area is our conversation. I think most of our students coming to tutorials are just looking to build their confidence with conversation, conversational fluency, and they will come to our tutors regularly. Like during fall and spring semester, you can book one-to-one tutorials 3 times a week. And then you can come into those for topic-based discussions, mock interviews, building vocabulary through discussion, listening comprehension exercises. But you can also focus on pronunciation, where you can kind of identifying correct tricky sounds, go into the kind of details of how to produce target sounds. You can work on an academic presentation that you're preparing for, or just talk about public speaking techniques. And yes, you really go into anything related to professional writing, academic writing, and test prep that you would like to. So I think this is often the first service that I recommend if you're kind of just wanting to prepare for the cultural differences, cultural adjustment, engaging in classrooms, things like that, just building confidence. It's a great service. Okay, thank you. And I guess so. Actually, we are missing the slide on global topics for global learners, but that is a weekly group discussion session. It happens every Monday, and it's a great chance to connect with learners from different campuses. We just get together and have a weekly group discussion. So it's a great way to practice conversation in a group setting and meet people from other campuses. And you can find the link to our global topics service through our website as well. And I think you'll be able to find it through all of these links in the chat quite easily. Actually, I'll just share the link because I do have it right here. And that concludes my part. Those are our services. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email us there at globallearnersupport@northeastern.edu. I will pop our email into the chat as well so that you can easily access that. But yeah, please reach out to us anytime if you ever have any questions, and we'll be happy to help you however we can. Thank you.